boost. I want to give a big shout out to the Riffs. Keep producing that fire.
Welcome, people. It's playoff fever right now. Final four. YMM Reckless in the East. Browns and VR in the West. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I couldn't sleep all week. I've been waiting for this game. Number 1 versus number 5. Number 1 versus number 2 in the West. 1 and 5 in the East. 1 and 2 in the West. Hyped. I'm ready for this game. I want to see the Rico versus Bishop matchup. I want to see Bug. I want to see versus Ralph. I just want to see a lot. I want to see Fred versus Reggie. I want to see a lot of things. Even though Fred didn't throw last week. They had Jomi throwing. Jomi's a very good quarterback, but then you lose him as a tight end. So it's a lot of things going on. Everybody want to know what's going on with Fred. Will Fred throw? I heard Fred was healthy. I heard he's going to be at the game today, and we'll see if he throws. So before we start everything, I'm Stephen J. This is Ghost, and we're just going to let you know, unfortunately, we lost Spooky. Spooky was one of the referees. He refed for us about 3 weeks ago. His first time with us, but he's known throughout the league. The league of street football, he's known. Co-op, LES, everywhere knows this man. And unfortunately, we lost him to a heart attack. Life is short, fellas. We never know what's going on. We never know what can happen. And unfortunately, I had just met the guy. But based on me just meeting him, he was a big impact in my life. You know, and I was looking forward to work with him. He loved where the league was going. And unfortunately, we're not going to have him. He's gone now. And all we could do is show homage and show a lot of honor to this guy because he was really a big impact in the football world.
I mean, I didn't really know him too much myself, but the comments that he had about the league kind of made me feel good for all the work that we put in. Like he said, he loved the way things are going. He loved the way everything looks, how the players, you know, respond to us, how they respect us, and how everything is going. So it's sad to know that when a guy is here today and gone tomorrow.
So I mean, we had a moment of silence for him. We also had the first play to.
Y'all talk, Trevor. Let's go. 15! Coming out! Go, buddy.
Because he would have been the third ref. So we had 2 refs on the first play. We thought that was a good idea to honor him. So that turned out well. But now, unfortunately, we got to talk about football. So on the first play. He attacked Wyman early. This team had a swag about them. Reckless. They was not taking anything for granted. They wanted to hit Wyman early. They figured they're the veterans. As you've heard Bishop say in the beginning, they're the veteran team. These kids are young. They're somewhat not really on the same page as far as personalities go. You know, they all have their own attitude, which is why they always argue with each other. So Reckless was going to use that against them, and here they went downfield. Great pass from Bug. And then, you know, 2 plays later after that, they was able to go short. And before they got... YMM players are fast, and they love to jump routes. And you can't take too many chances with them. So luckily for him, there was a flag on the play, and the play was brought back. Gotta be careful with these kids because they know how to read plays.
I mean, as you're gonna see, Bug is gonna notice that these guys do like to jump routes. They are ball hogs, and they follow the ball from the beginning to the end of the play. So he has to keep his eyes open for them.
So now, Reckless scores a touchdown. YMM gets the ball back. There's several plays. Finally, this week they went. You know, he's going to take whatever this defense gives him. Caesar said, you know, if we have the ability to go short, we will. We don't choose to because we feel we're a home run team and the guy's open. We're going to go at them. Even if they're not open, our receivers make plays.
One thing that I noticed with their style is, even though they chop up the field when they can, you can see that that's not their game. So all they're doing is they're looking for an opportunity to go deep. And they found that opportunity a couple plays after.
So But then they went back to their what they're known as their regular melody, and they went downfield for the touchdown. And this play is kind of strange because they went after one of the defensive players of the year candidates, Bishop.
I mean, they already said that they were not scared of Bishop. They were going to go straight at him, and they proved that early in the game. They said, okay, y'all got us with a bomb, we going to get you back. This is our game, you know? So they went straight at there. The cheating on defense, watching the quarterback, waiting for the ball to come to him, it didn't work this game because by the time he noticed where the ball was going, that there was a guy behind him, it was too late.
I think Reckless got too used to Bishop doing everything. They got too accustomed to Bishop saving touchdowns, saving plays, and he couldn't do it against this team. YMM is too stacked, too much speed on this team, and that burned Reckless today on this play right here.
I mean, they have a whole line of guys on offense that can beat you deep. They have Rico. They have number 24. They have Jeremy, who's made great plays throughout the season, and they also have Jesse, who was big against that last game that they played in the last playoff game they played against LPAC.
Yeah. So this team is really stacked. So YMM gets the touchdown. Reckless gets the ball back once again, starting off, going short, looking for Henry. Now look at this.
Oh, yeah!
Stop throwing that ball underneath. Get some air on it if you're going to do it, because these guys are going to eventually come up and make a play. You know, Bug took advantage of the middle, but he has to be careful with these throws. As he saw here, these guys are not joking. They're here to make plays. But he... So, Reckless was in the groove early.
Yeah, I think that, Bug found his rhythm from the beginning of the game, and Henry was a key to him. That was a person that you would see he can go to throughout the game because their middle is open. Their middle is wide open, and that's their weak point, and Bug went for it.
Well, evidently, Lil Bill scored in the next series. They was stopped. Reckless got stopped. Had to punt. No problem. You know, they liked the way they were going with the ball. They liked the way they moved the ball. They figured next time we're punching in. But you can't give YMM opportunities to score because they'll take advantage. Again, the next series, Ralph going short. Going short. You know what I mean? And then he finds his main guy. Rest and relaxation with these two guys. Downfield, fouls Rico for the touchdown. Once again, Bishop can't help. This team has too much speed. So they're going to neutralize Bishop because he said he does not have the ability to cheat. So, unfortunately, that's how it goes. They score again. So now you got Reckless.
Got rid of it! Yeah, let's go!
All the way up to him. All the way up to him.
I can zoom in.
No, I don't think.
That close, that's touchdown. They're running it back for 6, and that's exactly what happened. Especially with Jeremy's speed, you know he's going for 6 points, and that's exactly what he got.
So now YMM goes up. Reckless gets the ball back. Few passes after the interception, he gets back into his rhythm. Evidently in the series, is able to find Lil Bill for the touchdown. This team, Reckless, again, he was supposed to slow the game down and get YMM out of rhythm. That's the best thing to do against these kids. These kids are smart when it comes to swarming the ball. So you have to manipulate them. You have to make them think the ball is going one way when it's really going another. And they were able to score. Reckless was able to score because of that. So now you got Reckless getting the ball back. YMM getting the ball back. Getting the ball back. But they're getting stopped. They're moving the ball. And then on 4th down, unfortunately, now what's going to happen? you're going to give YMM another play, which you don't want to do.
No.
So now remember, this play is on Black because Reckless held him, but because of his holding penalty, they have to try to stop him again. So Black makes a play on 4th down. Incomplete pass.
That guy was open. If
Yes.
it wasn't for Black making up for his holding call in the last play,
Yes.
that would have been touchdown right there. So that was a big play for Black, and that was a big way to save Reckless from getting a touchdown scored on that.
So it's incomplete pass. Now we go at halftime, 20-16. We're going to go to the interviews real quick of both teams at halftime.
Y'all come back, y'all down 2016. What do y'all feel y'all need to do this half to take this game?
One stop. That's all we need is one stop. One
Be more
stop.
aggressive. More aggressive.
One stop. And we can get this lead back and we can hold it. That's all we need. Watch. One stop.
Do y'all think that y'all defense started off kind of slow on that first bomb that they had?
Yeah, because they had two dudes blocking. We had more defenders out there. We should have definitely D'd that up, but slipped up. Everything, I don't know what to tell you. Talk to me after the game.
Everything happens for a reason.
About to break it.
More aggressive.
Okay.
More aggressive.
The defense got to play harder. That's all. And it's second half. This is do or die. This to go to the chip. They got to win this game, man.
All right, good luck to them.
Back from halftime, Reckless kind of was hyped because they figured they could have been down more. They didn't play well, and they figured they got to take it one play at a time. You got to get more aggressive second half. Bug can't make those mistakes.
I mean, well, I spoke like I showed you. I spoke to Horse, and Horse said, that they did start off slow, but all they need is one stop to get back in the game. And I feel that if they do make that stop, hopefully for them, they'll be able to get in rhythm and take this game away from YMM.
Yeah, so now we go to the second half, and right now Reckless is down. They're moving the ball. They get the ball back, moving the ball. Henry gets the ball in the middle. This has been working all day. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Then Bug makes a bad throw. He was looking for the guy. Little Bill looks like he looking for Little Bill to cut inside. Little Bill didn't. Little Bill shot short on his route, and it was picked off again by Jeremy. You can't make these mistakes against Wyman. You cannot, because it will shoot you in the foot. So now, YMM gets the ball. They're moving it. They was able to stop them. Reckless was able to stop them. YMM has to punt. So now the game goes back and forth. A few stops back and forth. And now this is a game breaker right now. Because remember, right now you have Reckless. YMM is up by I believe 10 or 11 points. Bad throw by Bug again. This time it's picked off by number 24. He runs it back to the house for a touchdown to put them up.
I mean, as you can see on that one, he tried to force that ball to Bishop in the middle, and it looked like he was nervous on that throw. Like, he didn't throw it right away when Bishop was cutting into the middle, and so he hesitated and got number 24 time to make it there to take that ball and run it back for 6.
You can't give this team opportunities, especially when they're on offense. So now they're on defense and you're giving points away. You're shooting your defense in the foot because it's hard enough to stop these guys. So when they're able to hold them to 2 touchdowns, what else do you want them to do? But evidently, I guess Reckless played a little recklessly, and they gave them 2 touchdowns on defense. They allowed them to run 2 to the house.
I can't even say it was the whole team. I gotta put this on the quarterback. I gotta put this on Bug because it looked like after the first 2 interceptions that he threw, especially the one for the run back, he, wasn't all there. It looked like he was hesitant. He was nervous. He wasn't confident like he usually is, and he started to force passes. And after that other pick for a touchdown, I felt it was over after that.
You can't throw 3 interceptions and still think you're going to go to a championship.
Especially when 2 of them are for run backs.
So that's right. That's 12 points right there off of interceptions you gave them. And it's nothing your defense can do. So, Reckless was able to score a touchdown late to try to get back. But by this time, it was over. YMM ended up winning this game 34-22. Now, remember, YMM is a 5 seed. They came in this league I believe week 3 they came in. Unbelievable what this team was able to do. They are in the championship. They were a number 5 seed. They lost to LPAC. They lost to Riot Squad. But then they beat big teams.
I mean, but in all honesty, the looks on paper, as you can say, looks can be deceiving. You know, so just because they were a number 5 seed doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't one of the best teams to take the field.
Yeah, but
just like
because they're number 5
yeah.
seed, that don't mean they're number 5 team.
Just like how you said that in the past, the Black Stallions was a weak number 3 seed.
Right.
It's the same thing. Looks can be deceiving. Just because it looks like they have 5 and 3 or whatever on paper doesn't mean that they're one of the best teams out there. And YMM is the reverse. Just because they were the number 5 seed doesn't mean that they weren't one of the best teams out there, and they showed it today.
You gotta be able to understand that this team is fast. I would run the ball at them. You know, I would make them have to make plays where I don't have to throw them off the ball as much, because if you make a mistake, this team's not only intercepting the ball, they're looking to run it back to the house. So unfortunately, that's going to end the season for Reckless. They finished number 1 seed. They finished the season, I believe, 5 and 3. Number 1 seed. They had a big win last week. And it's this team, they got to go in this offseason with questions. I mean, Bug what makes you laugh, make you cry. And Bug is known for going for them home runs. And it hurt them today. Bishop needs help. They had Bishop doing everything. And this game, Bishop did nothing. Nothing at all.
Why? Because they called his game. They saw they saw the type of player he was, and they set up plays designed just to shut down Bishop, just to keep him guessing, just to have him confused on the field. And it looked like he was trying to do too much for his team, and that offense overloaded him at the end of the day.
I mean, you was the number 1 seed, and you didn't make the plays in order to go to the championship.
I mean, the thing that hurts the most is that this is the team that beat them in the regular season, the last game. They beat them. YMM beat the Reckless already, so they should know what they did wrong, what they need to correct, and what they need to come strong on in this game, which was the middle. Henry was open in the middle all day, but Bug wasn't confident, and that's what threw the whole offense off.
See, this is my issue with Reckless. Second half, Wyman was able to score 14 points. Reckless, the number 1 seed, was not able to score until under 2 minutes left in the game in the second half. So you have 18 minutes on the clock. They didn't score again until under 2 minutes in the second half. It's not going to win you games. There's no way possible it's going to happen. Because by the time they scored, the game was practically over.
Especially on a team like this, that at the last drive, actually, when they got the ball back, you know, they was able to score to shut down the game. That was it. Number 24, again, with a big touchdown to the sideline. My point is, they knew this game was over. They was like, you know what, we're not giving you another chance to get on the field. We're going to end it now, and that's exactly what they did. You give them opportunity to end the game, and they will.
Right now, to me, Reckless needs another receiver. If I was them, you know, this is just something for you to understand. You're looking for free agents. You're looking for possible free agents. I will go after Robert from underrated. Robert showed what he could do, especially against the Browns, you know, against Brick Swallow. So you put Robert in this Reckless offense with Bishop going downfield. This guy is like a Wes Welcome. I think that's something Bug needs to make happen. It's not about friends. It's not about I'm having my crew. You need to go out and get playmakers. They were supposed to pick up Herman. Herman's still with LPAC. Herman is another player that would have helped this offense because it depended too much on Bishop. Bishop and Sticky can't do everything. And Sticky is not the type of player that's going to give you many touchdowns. Sticky is the type of player that's going to come out the backfield, make some catches for you. Bishop is your main guy. And Henry picked up towards the end of the season. So again, you put Bishop, Henry as a tight end, Sticky come out the backfield. You need somebody to go over the middle, open it up more for Henry, and I think Robert's that player. I don't know, it's just something.
And then Robert has some speed as well, so he's a person that can take defenders that are somewhat like Rico or like Bishop out of the play. He's a type of player that can take other players out of the play and still find ways to get open, especially in that middle, which Bug was liking in that playoff game. So this is something that you can suggest. It may not just be Robert, but in general, Look for somebody that can actually open it up for Bishop, you know, or help Sticky in the backfield, you know, by taking guys out of the middle or something like that, you know.
Which will help Henry also.
Yes,
open
it will
up for
help Henry as well. So you need some other guy to take the defense away, or the attention away from them, so that they can get open and make big plays.
YMM moves on. They're in the championship. They have told me this since they first got here. We will be at 161 come March 16th, and they must be prophets because they're there. So with that being said, Reckless is done. You know, obviously they had a good season, a nice run, #1 seed, but it's over. Bug this game, atrocious. You can't throw 3 picks. You cannot do that to your offense. You cannot do that to your defense. You cannot do that to your team. 3 interceptions, 2 of them ran for touchdowns. You can't do that. It's going to kill you. And that's what happened today. It killed them. So, you know, like we always like to do, I think Reckless have resting time now. They could figure out, they could decide the players they want while they're on the boat. You know what I mean? And they can go fishing now.
Yeah.
As we always, you see, we can join them. We're going to get our fishing gear together. So if you take a minute right here, you'll see us right now. Hey, what's going on, people? Next one we're going to get into is MVR versus the Browns. This was the big game everybody wanted to see. #1 versus #2. The Browns beat MVR in the regular season, but they beat them in overtime. So the question is, do you think that game mattered on how MVR were going to play the Browns today?
I think it does. I think it's because MVR will be able to learn from all the mistakes that they made in that game. They already know the Browns. They already know their staff. They already know their offense. They know this team inside out. So they're going to be prepared in the playoffs to be able to keep up with the Browns. And they also have Yomi quarterbacking, which is, you know, a fresh, you know, he's a fresh face at the helm. So maybe that will make the difference.
Do you think Yomi is an upgrade over Fred? Because everybody wants to know what's going on.
I don't think it's necessarily an upgrade. I just think certain quarterbacks, certain people's styles fit fit for when you're playing certain opponents. So I feel, you know, they knew Fred. The Browns knew Fred. And, you know, Yomi quarterbacking is like a fresh face. So they have to learn all over again. And it's going to be hard during the game.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is Yomi threw before. You know, he is a quarterback. I believe he threw for the Violators. So this guy has experience. So all them people that think that they just throw him in the fire, this guy already knows what he's doing. We was told that Fred, you know, had some personal family situations that he wasn't able to quarterback. But this week he was here. Last week he wasn't here. I understand that. But this week he was here on the sideline. They had D-Boy again, an all-star on the sideline. You wouldn't have your 2 all-star players playing in the game to go to the championship?
Well, I can't speak about, you know, the decision for D-Boy, but at least for Fred, you know, we spoke to Orlando, and Orlando did say that, you know, Fred is a team player. You know, he's the captain of their team. And one thing that he's looking at as, you don't throw off the team's rhythm. You know, he wasn't there for a couple of games, you know, ending the season and in the playoffs. So he doesn't want to just thrust himself in there and throw off the rhythm that they already established with Yomi quarterbacking. So they're doing well, and I feel that he's going to let them play the game that they've been playing, to have them hot right now, and just see how far it can take them.
Well, I look at it as now, you know, you got the Browns facing MVR to go to the championship. Browns are feeling a little pressure because they undefeated. And now, you know, you go into the game and try to get to the chip. So, you know, it helps that you have a veteran like Reggie throwing for you. But you also, on defense, have a guy you're playing against, which I think the key to the game is Sean. Sean is about 6'3". So now it's hard for Reggie to really sit back, see that defense with Sean rushing him. You know, Sean able to deflect passes. So I think that's the big matchup that we didn't talk about enough. And people don't talk about enough, that Sean is a very big impact as ball giver. See, it hurts you if you have a mobile quarterback that can move around in the pocket. You know, then I can understand him being not as effective because the guy can roll out. But Reggie's not that type of quarterback. Reggie is a pocket passer. So with him, it's going to be hard for him to move the ball, I believe. So let's get to the game. We're going to start. MVR at the ball. And right away, the difference between Jomi and Fred is Jomi's going to sit down and take whatever you give him. He don't care if it's 5 yards, 6 yards. He's going to go there, which you can see him going to Ouija early. I think that was a part of their game plan to get Yomi in rhythm, getting used to quarterbacking because he didn't really throw this season, which is Fred is, he can just hit the gas and go.
But I'm going to say, I mean, no matter what quarterback you have, Ouija was open, you throw him the ball. They was leaving that sideline open the whole first half, and Ouija was getting there. He was getting the ball, and he was moving it for them. And so that really hurt the Browns early.
Then you have the evidently the Browns will score on a touchdown pass to Hood from Jomi. Then they got
MVR.
MVR would score. I'm sorry, for the pass to Hood, and then they get the extra point. Now you got the Browns with the ball. Reggie finds Ruben deep, and then Reggie's able to score 3 plays later. Quick. Reggie's trying to score points quick, get on and get off the field. You know, I think he started off with good rhythm. He found Ruben. Ruben hasn't been talked about this season. Ruben is an all-star, so people got to understand. Reggie has other weapons besides Puka. Everybody knows him to go to Puka, but he has other weapons.
I mean, then there's actually number 26, so what's his name? Weeze.
Yeah, they have Weeze too.
They also have Weeze who gets open too, so he has a lot of targets out there. Papa is a decent tight end, so he has a lot of targets to go to out there, and all of them need to be watched.
So now Reggie is able to score, and now MVR gets a big get the ball back. Puka plays great defense on a few plays. After that, they make a big stop, but then once again, Jomi goes back into his comfort zone, finding Ouija, which he would do all day long. That was a smart strategy.
And I told you that Ouija was going to be a difference maker in this game. Now, I did emphasize it should have been on defense, but on offense, you'll take it. I mean, he's getting open, you throw him the ball.
Jomi was able to chop up the field, but then unfortunately, they had a turnover, so they were stopped. Browns get the ball back, and then Macho gets a nice interception on Reggie. So right now the game is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And VR gets the ball and able to score a touchdown. So you see the game, the firepower is going really up and down, up and down. They giving a little bit, giving them back, giving a little bit, giving back.
Like I said, it was going to be down the wire. So just like last time, this is going to be a fight to the finish.
Right. So then we're going to skip a little down to MVR scoring, you know, again. So now MVR's going is up. They're feeling the rhythm. They're feeling good. They go up and they go into halftime going up. They're feeling really good about themselves, comfortable. They rally and they talk. We're going to see the talk too about with Orlando.
You're up 20-7. What did you do in the first half to shut down Reggie? Because y'all had Reggie locked first half. 7 points was the least points he scored all year in the first half.
We just played team ball. Remember the first time we played the first half, we held them zip. We just got to keep playing team ball, keep it together, and worry about the next step after.
One question we have. You have Jomi starting. Fred is on the sideline. Fred is your all-star. He's up there for quarterback of the year. How can you have your starter not starting in the Western Conference Championship?
What makes us so successful is to the point that we have a bunch of talented individuals over here. So regardless of who's placed where, we're going to perform. So it doesn't matter who's where and who's doing what. We're going to perform.
We was told because he's not healthy. Some things are going on. Y'all want to give a comment on that?
Nah, he's good, but he's been the team play. You know, he was gone for a couple of games, and he's not going to make a change if something's working. That's our captain.
All right, good luck second half, y'all. All right.
And now, you know, as you hear Orlando's, the guys seem kind of, they feel comfortable. They like where they are. They looked at it as that was their half. But you always want to have your troops know the first half is done. So they go into with the mentality as that was the Browns half. Even though they were up, they go into saying that was their half, this is our half, we're ready to go. So now Sean comes big sack by Sean. But then Reggie's able to find Puka with a nice pass. And then we see this play right here. Puka's wide open in the end zone. But Sean's pressure, which is what we explained in the beginning, make Reggie overthrow Puka in the end zone. So that's the key, like I said.
I mean, I'm gonna say this.
Sean.
After that sack that Sean got on Reggie, it had Reggie nervous to say, you know what? I can't let this happen again. So when Sean was coming, he got in his eyes and it forced Reggie to overthrow Puka. Puka was wide open.
Right.
So normally that's a definite touchdown, and that shows the difference that Sean makes as the ball giver.
And then we have, Reggie being able to score that drive. MVR gets the ball back. Big stop by Puka. MVR is forced to punt. Now the Browns get the ball back. Right now the Browns are moving down the field, and then we see a bomb thrown. The bomb is a pass interference call. The defender never looked back. Now the issue was, they said that he never touched him. On the angles of the refs, it looked like he made some type of contact, and because he didn't commit to look back to the ball, any type of contact.
And it looked like he actually fell on him. Even as the ball is falling, if you make any contact, even if you fall and touch his leg or something like that, as long as you make the slightest amount of contact, it's pass interference no matter how you look at it.
Because you're not looking back at the ball.
No, because you're not looking back at the ball. You're not making a play at the ball. So as soon as you make contact, pass interference all day. Unless he doesn't make contact and he's in his face, we had an argument in the past about face guarding. We already established that there is no face guarding rule in the NFL. They do not enforce face guarding. So you can do that all day as long as you do not make contact. And as we saw here, he made the slightest contact, and that's why it was called pass interference.
So then the Browns get the ball within the 5-yard line, and Reggie's able to find Ruben for the touchdown pass. So now the Browns get the ball back. Now you got MVR with the ball. Browns are able to stop them. Turnover. Great play by the Browns. Now the Browns are in the driver's seat. They're up. They just got to do one thing. Not turn the ball over. Run the clock, and they're on their way to the championship. Reggie's able to find Puka with a pass. Now this is the mistake Reggie made. A running play was called, which is a sweep to the right, if you see here. But instead of letting Puka take the run, if you look at the running play, Puka would have had an easy 15 yards. The blitz is coming. So the play that I was told was called was a running play. But Reggie, instead of allowing the run to do, he pulls the ball back from Puka and keeps it, and he sacked. Big sack on that blitz. Everybody in the field on the Brown sideline knew that the blitz was coming. Reggie was supposed to continue with the running play, but he pulled it out and was sacked. That is a big mistake by a veteran.
That shows that, there was certain, uncertainties in Reggie's mind. You could see that he wasn't 100% comfortable. He was, not thinking clearly. I guess there was a lot of pressure in that game to actually win and go to the championship undefeated. And sometimes that really affects you at the end.
But Reggie has numerous championships. We would not expect him to make this type of mistake.
I guess, certain uncertainties come with time. He's been playing for a while. And, as time goes by, you're not thinking the same way as you usually do. So certain things process differently. So with him, I guess the pressure just got to him.
And then that's a big sack. The next play, Reggie can't find anybody. Usually we seen all year Reggie take the sack. My thing is you take the sack, make him use a timeout and punt. Reggie doesn't do that. He takes this, instead of taking the sack, he throws a bad pass and it's intercepted. So you got back-to-back mistakes by your veteran quarterback. Even though they're up, and you just trying to run the clock out, that's two. You don't want to give MVR the ball back. Why? With that much time left. So unfortunately, Reggie makes a terrible throw. It's intercepted. Now MVR got the ball, and now they're ready to go. The pressure on big pressure by Nutt on them. Great defense by the Browns. The next play, they have everybody covered, but they leave Yomi. Yomi's ability to run hurts them. He's able to run for a big running play, gets him within 3rd and long. No, he gets him within 4th and long.
Yeah.
Right at the yard line. Great. On this play right here, this is the mistake that the Browns made that is going to stay with them for the rest of the season until next season starts. As you can see, he doesn't have everybody's covered. but Puka gets beat. He mistimes the jump. Great catch by the MVR player. I forget his name. I'm sorry, but I know his number is, I believe, number 21. Great diving catch. This guy, I believe he came from the replacements, if I recall, replacements or violators. He either came from, but they picked him up to make these types of plays. Great diving catch on the Browns' best defender.
I mean, one thing, you can't necessarily take, that play away from Yomi because, he made a throw that only this guy can get to. So you give him credit for that. That was a good throw. To keep it away from Puka.
Was it bad defense or just great offense?
I would say it's a little of both. I think you can't take away from the offense. It was a good throw by Yomi, keeping it away from Puka, because even though Puka was beat, he still was right there. So a little bit shorter, and that was an interception going the opposite way. And that was a great dive, a great catch. That was just a great offensive play, and Puka just got caught sleeping on that one.
He's frustrated. The whole Brown sideline are going crazy because that was 4th down. They only win the championship if they stop that play. And it's a bomb. That's what really hurts. So now the Browns, MVR gets the ball within the 10. Next play, great move by Yomi. They run the ball, run and play, touchdown. MVR's up 26-21, but they missed the extra point.
Yeah.
Now the big thing about that, because they missed the extra point, all the Browns got to do is score. And they win, because right now they're down 26-21. All they got to do is score. That's game. But actually, MVR gets called for cursing after the touchdown. So now they got to throw from the 5 instead of the 20. But let's remember who they got throwing the ball off on. LJ. If you did not know, LJ has one of the strongest arms in the league. He makes a great throw off. Great. Pushes them all the way back to, I believe, about their own, I would
Probably
say,
about
35.
30. Yeah.
Browns able to move the ball. Then it comes down to 4th down. I believe they're at their own 20 after moving the ball down the field. This is it. This is the game right here. Reggie calls hike. Moving around. Looking for a play. I don't remember if he was blitzed. I think he was blitzed on this down.
Yeah.
But he was still able to roll out, find time. If he wasn't blitzed, then I believe you got to bear with me that Sean is able to put pressure on him. Reggie rolls out, finds Puka. Puka has a step. Reggie puts the ball out. Now, if you slow it down, the best angle we try to see is a lot of people said Mach held. None of the rest threw a flag. I believe you got to let the guys play. Puka had it, but maybe the ball should have been pushed out a little more. But there was another defender coming, so Reggie had to put it in that right spot. Mach with the dive. Knocks the ball down. Game over. MVR going to the championship.
And honestly, everybody would, certain Browns players was arguing about the play and whatnot. I'm the one recording. I'm the one that saw what happened at the angle that it needed to be seen, right in the front. And what I saw, I didn't see any holding. All I saw was Macho, because they also said that he went over the top of Puka, try to get through him. But it looked like all Macho did was dive to the side, extend his left hand to knock that ball down. It looked like a clean play. I can replay it again. It looks clean to me. So I'm glad that the refs did not throw that flag. Because, that would have been going the opposite. That would have been touchdown for the Browns, or that would have gave them another chance to score within the 5. And I don't think they deserved that, because that was a good defensive play. MVR deserves this game.
I think that the refs let the guys play. And I don't think it was a hold. I think it's just a football play. You got to give Mach the glory of a great play. Great throw by Reggie. Can't take nothing from him. He put the ball where only Puka could get it. Did Puka go get it? No. He waited for the ball to come, and that's when the defender was able to make the play. But if he goes get it, he's not in the end zone.
True.
He will have to come out the end zone.
But let's just, give credit where it's due. Macho was huge in this playoffs for MVR, and he was huge in this game. He had an interception in the first half, and now he makes the play to win the game for MVR. Give him all credit where credit is due.
I picked the Browns to win this. I picked the Browns to go to the championship and play YMM. That was my pick in the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, YMM made it on my side, so that was a good pick.
Yeah.
But the Browns didn't make it, and I think you'll hear, you'll see Rose G's popping a bottle right now. because they actually went to the championship undefeated last year. They won a championship. So I think maybe it's not as easy. You got people that says the league is not as, it wasn't as difficult last year as it was this year.
Well, I'm gonna at least admit and say that I was one of the skeptics to say that, you know, last season wasn't as, you know, as competition heavy as this season. First of all, we have more teams. We had 14 teams this year. Not to say that all of them were big competition.
Right.
But we have
We can name a
LPAC.
few.
We can
Yeah,
name LPAC.
LPAC.
We can name Reckless.
Reckless,
We can
Riot
name
Squad.
Riot Squad. We can name
YMM.
YMM, who came in late in the season.
Browns.
MVR. A lot of great
Untouchables.
teams. Untouchables was, you know, one of the sleeper teams this season, but they were a good team as well. So it's a lot of competition. Brick Squad came in and won some huge games at the end of the season. Hunts Point was a strong team in the beginning, started to slip, but they were a good team. Underrated, played better this year than they did last year, in my opinion. You know, they played smarter.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more competition this year than last year. You know, there was a couple of Brooklyn teams there. You know, they had the Renegades, but I don't see the Renegades of Brooklyn being as much competition as some of the teams that we have here.
Right.
You know, they did have the Black Hawks,
Right.
who was a good team.
Obviously, you know, the main teams was Black Hawks, Never Scared, and Rose G's. Those are the three top teams.
Yes, and that was it.
Yes, you already knew it was going to be one, and Never Scared ended up beating Black Hawks. So I understand what you're saying. This year we have more comp. As you can see, LPAC was the number 1 seed, and they lost to number 5 seed, which was YMM. And YMM lost to Riot Squad this year. You know, they lost games during the season, so it's not like you can't, any given Saturday, you can beat. So I agree, the competition this year was a little more heavy than last year. So the only issue now is what happens with the Browns. Will Reggie be back? You know, every year you figure he's done it for a long time. This guy has numerous championships. He's an MVP candidate. He's an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. The guy makes plays, so you got to ask yourself, is this his last hurrah? You know, you got to ask yourself that with any veteran quarterback. Is this Wise from LPAC's last hurrah? You have a lot of players that's thinking about it, don't know if they want to come back next year. You know, so you got a lot of questions coming in the offseason. I think what the Browns would really need, I mean, you're undefeated, so you can't really say they need much. I think they can use another big play receiver as Puka, similar to Puka. But they have that. They have Breezy, you know, they have Ruben. So they don't have any big receivers, though. They don't have any big targets to go downfield. And on defense, I think they got to get fast over the middle. They got their best. You know, Reese is up there in age. You know, they got to get a little more pressure on. I think Nutt did a good time giving in the ball, but they need a more pressure player for the blitz. A guy that's going to put pressure. A strong, physical guy who can get through that blocker and go after the quarterback. I think they need that.
In all honesty, you know, I can't necessarily share in that opinion. Like, I felt the Browns was a championship team. They just lost to another championship team. That's all I can say. They gave it all. It was a great game. It came down to the wire. I feel the Browns don't necessarily need to change much because they're a great team as it is. It just happens that they played a team that were capable of beating them and they end up losing. That's all I can say.
Well, right now you got MVR versus YMM. And what we're going to do is, this show should be up right now that we're recording by Wednesday. I would say we're going to have another show by Thursday, Friday morning that we can show. We'll talk just about MVR, YMM. The matchups, you know, the championship matchups. We'll go through it with a fine comb, and we'll give you our picks at that time. So right now we're going to wrap it up. Great games for MVR, Browns, great games for YMM, Reckless. Reckless had a great season, 5-3. Browns had a great season, 8-0. And now we got, like I said, YMM versus MVR. So we'll come to you between Thursday and Friday with the championship all-star. We'll show all the all-stars, and we'll show the championship. We'll show the people who's in the running for the awards. So like I said, the show, hopefully, given Ghost's schedule, hopefully we'll have it up by Wednesday, and the film will be up by Friday morning. That way the teams can break down footage We'll break down footage of the games, what we think, how you attack both teams. We'll get there. So on behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J. Smith,
And I'm Ghost.
and we'll see you on Friday.